guys, I'm Lisa for wtfLisa Tarot. I get messages through songs and other ways. It's the weirdest shit. So I have one earbud in and one earbud out. Like, share, subscribe, follow, drop a tip, cash at wtfLisa Tarot. Shout my store, wtfLisa eBay. It is random. I'm gonna start this over while I talk so the lyrics line up. If you want a reading, soap, or bath bombs, check out wtfLisa Etsy. Those links are in the description. I have You Know You're Right by Nirvana in my ear. And I feel like I've had this reading before, like years ago, but I'll do it again. Because I get the energy of sometimes for some of us, yes, we know we're right, but it doesn't always feel good to be right. I will never bother you. I will never promise to. I will never follow you. I will never bother you. Never speak a word again. I will crawl away for good. This energy is some of you in the past. You've had confrontations with your different enemies, narcs, or just people that you thought were friends, but that turned out, whatever this scenario. You let them know the consequences of what they were doing, or you let them know what's going to happen because of what they have already done. Well, some of you are about to find out not only were you right, or you're about to witness that you were right because it unfolds now. It depends on your timeline where you're at. And even though you're right, there is a sense of like, okay, I knew it. There's a sense of peace with it. I don't feel like anyone is happy at all about the consequences. I feel like the point of you telling them in the past was to prevent the worst from happening. But they were like, hold my beer, and then dove head first into the worst. It doesn't always feel great to be right. But there's a certain peace, and now it's a moving forward after. There's going to be a processing and a healing time, of course. It's not instant. Being right doesn't always feel good. Trust me. I pick up crime and horrible shit all the time. I already hate that I do. It's not great waking up every day. You're seeing the worst of humanity, especially when I try not to watch the news. I try not to look it up, but it'll come to me. Although the last couple days I have looked up a couple things. Because there's just been weird energies. And then I've seen different stories now. People getting prosecuted for hiring people to stalk people. I've seen different cases of fraud. And a lot of my readings have had to do with fraud and stalking. So that's what those... But I felt compelled to look it up for a reason. Otherwise, I don't. And this is that energy, again, of finding out you're right. And it may come in weird ways through news stories, through a friend telling you something. You may overhear a conversation. You may get a weird email. You may even get a wrong phone call. It's different ways. You're going to be confirmations coming in weird ways. You know you're right. You know you're right. He says over and over in my ear. And it's like, okay, well, the confirmation. It doesn't always feel good to be right. And then there's that energy of regret and relief, like at the end of Kill Bill 2. Regret and relief, how you feel at the completion of something. And then there's that processing and healing and moving forward. For some of you, because you predicted this in the past, and in the time of that prediction, you felt all the feelings then and went through the horror and terror. So you almost had like a little awakening shit going on after. So at that point, you've already processed it. So the healing process now will be a little easier because you've already prepared. You already knew what was going to happen, and you already went through those feelings. You'll still have feelings. You're a person with a soul, but it won't be as difficult as it was the first time. Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood. I have had the worst time trying to work for this woman, and now it's too late. Twice I was hired for her shows to do 2 different companies, and I always got rerouted to other places. It's so funny. I'm so dancing with a beach bum tramp, and she's probably getting frisky right now. He's probably buying her some fruity little drink, 'cause she can't shoot whiskey. Queen of Cups, 7 of Swords, 2 of Swords. A lot of the karmic femmes are copycats. They're the one who always try to steal shit, or just the ones that come in and cause general havoc. Sometimes for me, I get these people I don't know. I mean, most of it's online. People are like, how is this happening if you don't know them? It's mostly online. That's why I don't know them. They live somewhere fucking far away. We've never had interactions. I've had people I've never spoken to in my life block me. I had one lady, oh my god, she was so crazy. She called up pretending to be my friend's sister. And then she blocked me online and was saying all this stuff, and she was messaging me on eBay and like weird shit. And then I started getting messages when hey, this lady's talking about you. None of her shit made sense. All she said was, I don't trust Lisa. That's all she said. She's always talking about her mom. Well, she was messaging me on eBay about items that clearly belong to an old lady or my mom. So she would ask, and I'd say, that belonged to my mom. Now she's like, oh my God, when did her mom die? Why is she always talking about her mom? Ma'am, you have asked me about the history of this item, and all I said was, it belonged to my mom. That's the extent of our conversation. What? And then I found out later, around the time she was doing that to me, she had assaulted another woman in her town. She took the woman out for drinks. Hey, we're going to be friends. And then she assaulted her. Here's the kicker. That woman turned out to be a martial artist who defended herself, gave that woman a big ass black eye. That woman has assault charges. The other woman, the martial artist, just fine. It was self-defense. Then this woman, the same woman who was bothering me and assaulted a martial artist because she's smart, was calling up the prison in different areas drunk and just rambling shit. I think what ended up happening, and this woman was 60 years old, what ended up happening to her is her daughter had to come get her and take her somewhere and move her away because she, obviously 60 years old, she's doing this weird behavior. She needs to be put in a fucking home. And this is that kind of energy now where it's over for some people. This Queen of Cups, this is more about karmic femmes. Could also be masculines acting like karmic femmes, Jezebel attachments, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, 10 of Wands, it's over. At a certain age, you can't get away with this shit. When you start acting like that, you know what? People aren't like, oh, you poor dear, let me give you a hug. They're like, I'm going to put your ass in a fucking home. You are a danger to yourself and everyone around you. Some of these older copycats, when I say things like, our copies must be deleted, they aren't necessarily going to croak or be deleted. They're just going to be stopped. Put in homes, put in jail. Some of them are being put down in different ways, but a lot of it's their own shit. They're going to overdose because of their own drug habits. And I just heard a gunshot sound. Ricochet. It's called Wild Wild West by the Escape Club. It's an 80s song that I still love from my childhood. It's so 80s. 47 deadbeats living in a back street, north, east, west, south, all in the same house. So 47 deadbeats living in the back street, north, east, west, south, all in the same house. It doesn't matter. It's a collective of these karmic femmes going down in different ways. Rehab, jail, nursing home, the funny farm. Some, the crazy house in the ground. I can't say in the sky. They're not going to heaven. Mandy's in the back room handing out Valium. Sheriff's on the airwaves talking to the DJs. Mandy's in the back room handing out Valium, and the sheriff is on the airwaves talking to DJs. These are old narcs, head in the clouds. They're idiots. They do things that make no sense. Some of them are into witchcraft, which is just going to make their cases make them look crazier. They're shady individuals. So for some of them that are headed for the funny farm, jail, rehab, the fact that they're spiritual or into witchcraft is just going to make their case for confinement overly emotional, stronger. In other cases, people once they're dead and people go through their house and their stuff and see all the shit, they're going to be like, oh, this person was nuts. Everything they worked for was for nothing. And they just end up being a joke. Or just a sad tale. Put your flags in the air, march them up and down. You can live it up all over the town. Sexual fantasies, weirdo, the freaky shit in their house. When people go through their phone, see everything, they find out the truth about this person, mean bitch. I just get the energy of most people generally being happy they're gone, whether it's through lockup or unaliving means. But once they go through their stuff and it's just finding out what a horrible, horrible person these karmic fans have been. Well, yikes. And these are the older ones that it's just they're past their prime and now they're being expired. Whether it's to the nursing home, the funny farm, jail, or the ground, worm food. I fantasize about you, but you are not part of my plan. In their mind, they're young forever, and they're going to get all this stuff. That ain't happening. supposed to call them something, blah, blah, blah. This one's called the outlaw. Wow, they want me. He just says stuff weird right now. Murder me, chatter me when we chat on the mic. Murder me, chatter when we... That's a weird thing to say. Here comes the escape club to rock it all night. Yeah, it ain't happening. I never want to feel that way again. I just get this energy. They're in denial. These older karmic feminine copycat weirdos past their prime. Drinking, popping their pills, living in this fantasy, and that fantasy world is coming to an end. Why? The 90s ended a long time ago. The 80s ended a long time ago. The 70s ended a long time ago. Now it's just time for the funny farm, the nursing home, rehab, or the ground. Hermit. These older I started to say older masculines with a Jezebel attachment out of nowhere. So it could be, I don't know about you guys, but I've noticed a lot of men are just like women now. They even look like them. They have pregnant bellies and boobs. Some of them have long hair, so it's really confusing. And then their name's Chris or Pat, and you're like, oh my god, I have no idea what I'm talking to. And then it's more awkward when they ask you out, and you're like, how do I ask them if they're a man without asking? I don't know. Anyway, so I could be picking up on men, like, and these aren't transgender, it's different. It's, they have an attachment. I have Ironic by Alanis Morissette. It's not funny, but, you know. An old man turned 98, he won the lottery and died the next day. That's what's going to happen with these femmes. You know, they're not going to win the lottery and die. It's just everything they worked for is for nothing. Even if they do get one good gain before they croak, or their rehab, jail, wherever they're going, they're not going to get the 7 of Cups. They're not going to get to have it. If they do, it's for a short time, then everything goes. And this is that vibe. This is the end for a lot of them. Whether it's a masculine with a Jezebel attachment or a karmic femme. It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride when you've already paid. My friends and I used to change the words of this song, and when she said it's the good advice that you just didn't take, I think we used to say it's a German guy in your lingerie. We would change it would be a German guy in your lingerie, it's a French fry in your lingerie, like anything in your lingerie. I don't know why it had to be that way, but I the one that made me laugh always was it's a German guy in your lingerie, because it's like, why does he have to be German? I don't know. Plane crashed down, he thought. Wasn't this nice? As the plane crashed down, he thought, wasn't this nice? Anyway, karmic femmes, masculines with Jezebel attachments. They get the Tales from the Crypt ending, or just the ending they didn't expect. But the truth hurts. With this Ace of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, Page of Cups, and Hangman, a lot of them are just too fucking old to act the way they do, and old age will catch up with them. Oh no, it won't turn off. Oh no,